Okay, so this is how to build a basement in Manitoba. We are sitting somewhere at around the 50th north latitude, just slightly less than that. I've looked at ChatGPT and had a little discussion just to make sure that I was on the right track. So according to their research, we're looking at wall thickness and depth. So the thickness is going to be 10 inches. Our depth is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 8. We're going to put some egress windows in. We're going to use 24-inch high and 36 inches wide windows, and we're going to put them no closer than 4'11" from the finished floor of the basement. This is your average size. We are going to use a footing. It's going to be 12 inches in thickness and 36 inches in width. Here's some of the requirements that you would decide whether you need a footing or not. So it's basically how much load, what kind of soil conditions you have and whatnot. We're not going to use piles. But these are kind of situations when you would use piles. And so the takeaway for this would be 10-inch walls, some in the neighborhood of 7 to 8 inches deep. We're going to go with bigger windows than that, 36 by 12, and we're going to go no piles. Okay, so that's basically the summary of that. We're going to choose our typical template. We're going to make some modifications to it. So we are going to go up a level and we're going to choose English Imperial, and it's going to be the residential default one. And click OK. So we're going to look at the north view and we're going to make some changes to here. So these are just changes to make it a little bit easier to think about. So instead of having this 3 inches, we're going to make it 4 inches, so the math works out a little bit better. And let's go zooming in. 4 inches. So the reason I'm doing that is just so the bottom of the footing is going to be, and the top are going to be 12 inches apart, and then on top of that we're going to put the basement floor. So if we now change this to -9, so the basement floor is going to be 4 inches above the footing, and then we're going to add one level, and that's going to be the windowsill height. So the windowsill height now works out to be just -4 feet, and we're going to change the name. So window sill. I believe that's how you spell it. And that is it. So we're going to hit escape and escape again. I'm going to draw this on, let's try the basement. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be good. Okay, we're going to go to a structure wall and we're going to go to 10 inches. 10-inch concrete. There we go. The base is going to be the top of the footing, and the top constraint I believe is called foundation. And I think we should be able to draw it. And we got a little bit of a problem here. Okay, so it's not showing up on the basement level, and it's giving me a warning. So we're going to open up top of footing and see if it shows up there. So it's showing up on top of footing. So that happens a lot to me. Not sure if it's picking on me. And now the floor is, or the wall is not very thick. So I'm going to hover, click tab, and click, and then I'm going to change these things. So I want this to go to foundation, and this is top of footing, and that should be right. So now when we look from the north, we've got what we want. If we put a floor up here, it's going to be roughly a foot thick. This one's giving it a little bit more. Our window sills are going to be 5 feet off of the floor when it's finished. And now we're going to put the footing down. So the footing is quite easy, and it came up with the default one right away. So that's good. And it's just a matter of picking walls and going around. And we can take a look at that. So that looks good. So now the basement floor is going to be a structural floor. So under structure floor, and we're going to look for just a 4-inch concrete slab. And we're going to do this from top of footing maybe. So normally we pick walls, but I'm going to pick the line, and I want to put it inside the wall so that it's resting its weight on the footing. I think that's pretty normal. And then I'm going to click OK, and then we're going to go to 3D view, and for some reason it went really low, so we're going to change that. So it's not bottom of footing, it's going to be, let's try top of footing, and click OK. So that doesn't look right. You can sort of see that it's just bleeding through. So we're going to try basement, and that looks better. Okay, so if we look at it from the top, let's open foundation and see if we can see it from there. So there's two ways that we can inspect. If we go to view, and we're looking for a section analysis, so we can draw this anywhere we want, and then we just hit enter, and now if we click on it, it'll cut the building. So the key points that we're looking at is that we have a 10-inch wall, we have a 36 by 1 foot footing around it. Our basement wall is our basement floor is 4 inches and sitting on top of the footing. So it's very secure. And then the only thing we have to do now is add windows, which we're going to do from the north view. Okay, so we hit escape to get out of our tools. We're going to go to architectural. We're going to go to windows. Now, when I do the drop down, I want kind of a sliding window, and I would like one that is going to be 2 feet high and 3 feet wide. So we're going to choose this one, and then we're going to go to edit it. So the first thing you do when you get into editing is duplicate it, and let's give it a name. So we're going to change this one to 24, and I'm going to put my initials just so that I know that I changed it in case things go horribly wrong. And we're going to take a look at what we can change here. So this is the trim, and this is the dimensions, and it looks like that is what we're going to change. So our width is going to be 3 feet. So we can just go 3. And our height is going to be 2 feet. And I'm going to hit apply. And then I'm going to put the windows in. We'll go crazy with windows. And we'll put one down here. Okay, so now I'll show you a little trick. We're going to go to 3D, and you can see our windows. Hit escape to get out of our window tab. So there's a thing called a filter. So if I select the whole building, then I go to filter, I could turn off the things that I don't want. So I want just the windows. Okay, and then I hit apply, and that's got them. And now it says varying height. So I want to change this to windowsill, and then hit apply. And what does it say? It's giving me some errors. We're going to cancel that. Let's go 0. And we'll change this to windowsill. See if that works. That looks like it worked. Okay, I don't know what went wrong the first time, but that works, and you can see they're all lined up. So that is awesome. Okay, I think that that's where we're going to stop the video. So good luck and have fun.